August 14th, 2025. Daily Bread. Passage: Acts chapter 7 verse 1 to 16. Key verse. Verse 5. Title: God keeps his promises. And the high priest said, "Are these things so?" And Stephen said, "Brothers and fathers, hear me. The God of glory appeared to our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia, before he lived in Haran, and said to him, 'Go out from your land and from your kindred and go into the land that I will show you.' Then he went out from the land of the Chaldeans and lived in Haran. And after his father died, God removed him from there into this land in which you are now living. Yet he gave him no inheritance in it, not even a foot's length, but promised to give it to him as a possession and to his offspring after him, though he had no child. And God spoke to this effect, that his offspring would be sojourners in a land belonging to others, who would enslave them and afflict them 400 years. But I will judge the nation that they serve, said God, and after that they shall come out and worship me in this place. And he gave him the covenant of circumcision. And so Abraham became the father of Isaac, and circumcised him on the 8th day, and Isaac became the father of Jacob, and Jacob of the 12 patriarchs. And the patriarchs, jealous of Joseph, sold him into Egypt, but God was with him, and rescued him out of all his afflictions and gave him favor and wisdom before Pharaoh, king of Egypt, who made him ruler over Egypt, and over all his household. Now there came a famine throughout all Egypt and Canaan, and great affliction, and our fathers could find no food. But when Jacob heard that there was grain in Egypt, he sent out our fathers on their first visit. And on the second visit Joseph made himself known to his brothers, and Joseph's family became known to Pharaoh. And Joseph sent and summoned Jacob his father, and all his kindred, 75 persons in all. And Jacob went down into Egypt, and he died, he and our fathers. And they were carried back to Shechem and laid in the tomb that Abraham had bought for a sum of silver from the sons of Hamor in Shechem. Daily Bread Message. When Stephen spoke, he gave his accusers the gospel in the context of history. He started with Father Abraham. In Genesis, Abraham's faith is characterized by obedience to God's word and belief in God's promises. He believed that his descendants would possess the promised land, even though he owned no land and had no children. He accepted God's plan to train his descendants in Egypt for 400 years, and sealed God's covenant with circumcision. Because of their jealousy, the patriarchs sold Joseph as a slave into Egypt. But God was with Joseph. He gave him wisdom and turned his adversity into victory. Through Joseph, God accomplished the first part of his plan, and brought Abraham's descendants to Egypt, so that they might grow into a great multitude. During that time, they held on to God's promise to give them the land though they suffered as slaves. Do you find it hard to see what God is doing? Like Abraham and Joseph, we must trust in his promises, live by faith, and believe he will bless those who obey him. Prayer. Father, help me to obey your word, believe your promises, and trust you in times of adversity. One word. God keeps his promise to those who live by faith and obey him.